Alright, part 2. So, we are heading off to Hogwarts, and, Neville's telling them about the Carrows, and, basically, everything. So, this scene is going good so far, right? It's going good so far. So, they get to the room of requirement, and, we got the celebration, blah, 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 cool stuff, and they're like, okay, what do we do? Or, what's the plan? And then all of a sudden, it's kind of like, herp-de-derp, we don't know. Oh, no, it's never mind. Sorry, it's not like that. It's more of a, Harry's like, we gotta find something, and it's gonna help us defeat Voldemort, or I think he says you-know-who, whatever, and it's here in the castle. And a decent scene of humor here is, like, okay, what is it? I don't know. What's it look like? I don't know. Where's that? I don't know. And he's like, I know it's how much to go on, and Seamus is like, it's not anything to go on, and yeah, it was good. It was good. I liked it. It's a nice scene. Oh, hey, Ginny pops out of nowhere, even though she's not supposed to be here yet. I don't know. Whatever. Moving on. So, and then they eventually talk about the lost diadem, or however the fuck you say it. I don't remember. I don't care. I'm trying to remember everything here from scratch. It's not easy at times. Now here's a big nit. This is even a nitpick. This is something that they should not have removed. Okay, sorry, they didn't even remove it. This is something that should not have just. So in the book, Harry and Luna go off to the Ravenclaw Tower, and there's that the weird handle or whatever it is that gives them a question. They have to answer it to get in. And they get in, and one of the Carrows is there, and she summons Voldemort, and then they attack her, and everyone knows this scene. Yeah, the movie says "fuck you," and all the students are brought into the Great Hall with Snape, and the Carrows are behind them. The Carrows have no lines; they do nothing at all. Annoying little, stupid. And so they're all in. The Great Hall, and Snape's like, oh, I've heard Harry Potter is here. If anyone knows where he's at, come forth. And Harry's like, hey, I'm right here. You have a huge security issue, and in comes the Order and everything. And then Snape pulls out his wand, and what's her name? McGonagall pushes Harry aside and pulls out her wand, and then she does this whole fire thing, and then Snape reflects the fire a little bit, and it hits the Carrows, and they go unconscious, so there goes the Carrows. Yippee for their 5 seconds of screen time. And this was an annoying part. So, again, in the book, when Voldemort uses his whole talking to everybody thing, he literally talks to everyone. He basically echoes everywhere. That was how the book described it. Even Hagrid was like, yeah, we heard whose voice echoing all the way up to our cave, and Hogsmeade was the same way. We heard his voice echoing all the way out in Hogsmeade, and his voice, he basically made his voice magnified to everything. In the movie, it's like you randomly hear one girl scream, and she's clutching her ears, and then another person starts screaming, and then you hear Voldemort's voice as if he's talking to everyone inside their head personally. It's like, what the fuck? Why did they change it? It was stupid. And so is the whole, I know you're preparing to fight. It's like a whisper. That's what annoyed me. It's like he was whispering. But in the book, it's like he's basically yelling. Or not yelling, he's just talking to them, but magnified. You get the point. And so he does the whole, give me Harry Potter, and, no one will be harmed, you'll be rewarded. And everyone stares at Harry, and it's a long scene of staring, and then someone's like, oh, there he is, grab him. And, of course, Ginny grabs him, and, everyone's just kind of, like, against them. And of course, okay, tell me this. Why do we then have the Filch scene in which he's like, students out of bed, and McGonagall calls him a dumb shit, basically. Hilariousness, awesome. Peeves was not in the movie. That pissed me off. I was waiting for it. Because she starts talking to Filch, and she's like, Filch, and as soon as she started about to give orders, I was waiting for it. I almost said it out loud. I was like, go and find Peeves. That's what I was waiting for. And she just says, escort the Slytherins out or whatever. I'm like, what the fuck? Oh, and she sends him to the dungeon. Yeah. Instead of sending him out to the to Hogsmeade like, they're supposed to. Everyone's supposed to go out through the room of requirements to Hogsmeade, or to the Hog's Head, sorry. But instead it's just take him to the dungeon. Everyone's like, ah, hilarious. So anyway, I'm trying to remember what happened after that. I think this is where basically, you know, well, we gotta find something, blah, 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 and they're like, okay, we're gonna defend the castle, and she does her spell, and they're about ready to defend the castle. So, it's just they took out the whole Karos scene. I was waiting for that scene. I really was. It was a great scene, and it took it out. They're like, fuck it. I don't know. It annoyed me that they did that. It annoyed me immensely that they did that. Actually, it was a big ass scene that they just said fuck it, and I wasn't a fan of that. I don't know. Maybe it's just me. So this is where they put all the defensive stuff up, and wow. There's so much stuff that's happening. I can't even remember all of it right now. So, time to pause and type all this out. Alright, they fucked this part up too. So, the teachers go out and all do their, spells, and they make a big orb. And so Harry's got to try to figure out where this, where the diadem's at. Or diadem. How the fuck do you say it? Whatever. Eventually Luna tells him that, you gotta talk to somebody. You got to talk to a ghost, basically, and he goes and finds Helena Ravenclaw. I don't know why, it annoyed me. So, again, in the book, Harry's talking to her, and he eventually finds out that, she stole her mother's diadem, because she's the daughter, and ran away with it. Bloody Baron, found her and killed him himself, and, she eventually told Tom Riddle where it's at, and he found it, and he turned into a Horcrux. But when Harry asks where is it, she says that she knew it was where she died, which was in a forest in Albania or whatever, and all that. But in the movie, it's completely different. In the movie, basically what happened was that Tom Riddle, apparently Helena wanted to destroy the diadem, and Tom Riddle's like, hey, I'll destroy it for you, but instead he, turned into a Horcrux, and the ghost does this whole, whole thing where she's pissed off. She's like, oh, I know what he's done. He promised to destroy it too, but he just used dark magic on it and turned it into, blah, 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 and eventually Harry, gets her to tell him where it's at, because magically she knows that it's in the castle. She knows exactly where it's at, basically, which is fucking stupid. So Harry goes off, and actually, before that, sorry. This was not in the fucking book, but fuck it anyway, who cares anymore, right? So Ron and Hermione basically tell him that, hey, it doesn't matter if we find any more Horcruxes because we gotta find a way to destroy it, and then Hermione's like, oh, it was all Ron's idea because he's brilliant now, and all this bullshit. Like, we're gonna go to the Chamber of Secrets, basically, and get a fang. And of course, how is the basilisk already just a straight up skeleton? Shouldn't it be decaying still? I don't know. I guess after this long. It's just I figured it was a basilisk. It's a huge ass magical creature. Why is it already bones? There's no skin left. There's just bones. Anyway, so moving on from that. So they actually had the scene of where Ron and Hermione go into the Chamber of Secrets, which I thought was kind of cool. Granted, yeah, I know, in the book they don't. In the book we have no idea where the fuck they're at. Someone says, oh, they both said something about a bathroom, and we don't know anything about it until they get back. And they're like, oh, and, they're supposed to come back and, whatever. Now, they changed this so much that in the book, when Harry finds out about where what it is and where it's at, he knows about the diadem, where it's at and everything, Ron and Hermione pop out of nowhere, say that they went to the Chamber of Secrets, that was all Ron's idea, and out of nowhere, Ron's like, oh, we should probably, find the elves, and, Harry's like, oh, what, you want them to help fight for us? And he's like, no, we should tell them to run away, we don't want any more dobies, we can't force them to fight for us, and, Hermione's like, oh my god, that's so awesome of you, and she, kisses him, whatever. The movie's like, fuck that, let's go with this. So they show us them in the Chamber of Secrets. Hermione stabs the goblet. Water goes crazy. Yeah, the water comes to life. Oh, and here's the thing. I don't remember this either. Apparently Voldemort now feels the Horcrux is being destroyed. When the fuck did that happen? Maybe, I don't know. Maybe I forgot about that tiny little thing, but every time one's destroyed, he's all like, oh my god, I can feel it everywhere. I don't know. Stupid. And of course, you know, as soon as Ron and Hermione get hit by a bunch of water, they decide to make out. Alright, well, that scene's done with. But of course, it takes fucking forever. I hate those scenes so much. It was pointless. So then they leave, and Harry goes off into the room of requirement. Oh, here's another annoying part. I don't get why they changed this. See, this isn't even a nitpick. This is just a why the fuck did they do this? Instead of Draco, Malfoy, Crabbe, and Goyle, it's Draco, Goyle, and some black kid, Blaze, I think his name is. So, I'm pretty sure it was Crabbe who did the Fiend Fire, but they're like, oh, Goyle's gonna do it this time. And he falls into the fire. And I actually felt bad for him when he fell in. But whatever, who cares? So, Crabbe makes no appearance. Why? I don't know. I guess he didn't want to. So whatever. But they find the diadem. Oh, and instead of the diadem, I thought the diadem was like in the fire before, and then when Harry finally was able to retrieve it, he saw that it was oozing, or whatever. But nope, in this one they just smash it with a Basilisk Fang, and Ron kicks it into the fire, because that's how it happened in the book. Yeah, definitely. So, great stuff there. So wow, we're actually pretty far into this already, aren't we? Yeah, right. This is only like half the movie, maybe. Good lord, they added a lot of stuff that should not have been there. But anyway, so that's it for the diadem Horcrux. Now they know they have the snake left, and this is what it's like. Okay, in the book again, this is kind of a big thing in the book. Harry tells Neville, "Hey, he's like, hey, Ron and Hermione already know this, but you need to kill the snake. If Ron and Hermione can't do it, you need to kill the snake." That was a big thing. That was a big thing. In the movie, just stupid. So I'll get to that later. He basically doesn't tell Neville shit. Harry tells Neville nothing, nada, doesn't even give a damn. So moving on. I'll admit this though. I'll admit this since we're getting close to it. Actually, I think we already got to it. Yeah, I probably passed it. But basically the actual fight of the Battle of Hogwarts wasn't too bad. Little nitpicks here and there, but I'll admit though, I cried when I saw, was it Fred, I think is the one that died. And of course we're shown Tonks and Lupin. It just sucked. It really did. But anyway, moving on. Or maybe that was after. I don't remember. But anyway, so here's another thing that, again, they should not have changed. They should not have changed it. I don't know why they did, but they did. Harry, Ron, and Hermione were supposed to go to where Voldemort was, which was the Shrieking Shack. But in this one, they say, nope, we're going to some random place that's never been mentioned or shown before. Some random boathouse. Yes, a boathouse. Why? Who thought of that idea? A boathouse? No, Shrieking Shack. How hard is it? We've been there multiple times, people. Is it that difficult to go back? Oh, another big thing. This is a big thing to me. The Nagini was never put into a magical cage orby thingy. Never. She was always just slithering around like snakes do. Bullshit. She was supposed to be in some magical cage thing so no one could get to her. Movie, why are you failing? I don't know. But the Shrieking Shack thing made me pissed off. Like, they showed boats and I was like, no. Wrong. But whatever. We get to talk more about that in the next part.